All right, this is my first live video on YouTube. I was going to have it start out with information about me, but I want to talk about what's happening with the Wisconsin Elections Commission with myself. And if anyone out there can help me with this or know of an attorney or anything, I received what it appeared to be multiple official ballots, almost 5 of them. I saved them. I took pictures of them. I took them to my polling station. I showed, because I thought, oh, maybe I won't be able to vote. They laughed. They said, oh, lots of people have that. And I thought, oh, okay, kind of flippant. I held on to them. I did a video on BitChute about them. Was wondering if they in fact had the now largely debunked watermark issue on them. But at any rate, I called the Wisconsin Elections Commission and told them about this. And they asked for photographs of it. They assured me that they weren't official ballots. They asked me to email these ballots. This was the day after the election, so it would have been way back in November. Made another phone call because what prompted it is that I started to receive text messages again to vote by mail. And I'm like, they're doing this again? My understanding, which was incorrect, was that Wisconsin had a law that only incapacitated individuals could vote by mail. Not true. You can have an absentee ballot. However, you need to have a driver's license associated with it, and you need to file application. This would have been the grounding of the I've got to come up with another word for TRUMP campaign, lawsuits. Don't want to lose my algorithm benefits, day one from using, his name. All right, so I called and I thought, you guys haven't addressed this, and I happened to record the call. And I'm so glad that I did. Okay, there's a little piece there. I had a question about the Supreme Court ruling that my husband said, oh, I guess, we got to come up with a word for TRUMP. Rump roast just won a positive result at the Wisconsin Supreme Court. And I didn't understand it. I wasn't seeing anything. So I thought I'll call the Elections Commission because it has something to do with this absentee and incapacitated voting. They didn't have an answer. So I left. I believe, this would be another big piece. I'm not sure. I don't think I left a message with my phone number. May have, but I gave them a shortened version of my legal name, which I never use. Quite a bit later, I received a phone call back from, and it did come up on my phone from the Elections Commission. And and this is the phone call that I recorded. And I talk about the texting, and he gave me information that those are third-party sites, which frankly, this needs to stop. And apparently these mock-up, out from the Democrats, are perfectly legal. They look like they're a ballot, but they're not. And just, add to the confusion, and that's where all, these were coming. And I probably only received one official ballot. I did record myself opening all these on BitChute. I need to go revisit. But during the conversation, this man who called me, he proceeds to tell me that they received that I applied on March 23rd in that of 2018 as an absentee ballot. And I said, how would you know that? And I'd only given him the name, let's say, Debbie. He thinks he's talking to Debbie. That's all the information I've given. I said, how would you know that? And he goes, quote, I can see you. I said, how can you see? He gives me my full name and proceeds to tell me, where I live. And I say things such as I say, how would you have, he goes, well, I have your license. I go, how could you have my license? It came up on your last name came up on your caller ID. And I said, at some point I say, this is without my permission. He said, oh, our election result, all this private information is held securely. And I say, apparently it's not. I go, I don't know who you are, but you know everything about me, my birth date, my date of birth, where I live, photo of me, everything you would need to dox someone. All right. I further asked the fact that I'm inquiring about the election integrity gives me away as a rump roast. So I was just really pretty freaked out about that. You can hear it in my voice. I kind of tone things down and I say, oh, well, thank you very much for all of your questions. But it was bothering me. It was eating away at me. And this morning I called and I took more notes and I recorded it. And I find out, I'm like, because of all the rhetoric that we're hearing about hurting Trump supporters, rump roast eaters, and that they need to be abolished from the planet, and they need to be, they shouldn't have the privilege to have a job. They need to be cleansed. They need to be reprogrammed. They need to be not exist. The word not exist is used quite a bit. Not exist. And here we've got, when I looked at the election commission commissioners, there's 2 obligatory Republicans, and who even knows how Republican they really are. It's clearly Democratic. And throughout this recording that I have of this man, whose name I'm not going to release right now, need to talk to an attorney, you can hear his bias. And in this conversation I made today, I said, he was saying things like rump roast, a campaign did this. She goes, oh no, we don't talk like that. And I'm like, and she even made an implication. Who did you even talk to? Thankfully, I took notes and wrote his name down, and he gave it to me on recording, because otherwise there was could have been anybody. Somebody might have just called you. And I said, well, what then? Somebody in your offices gave my name out to some crazy guy. She's now calling this guy crazy guy, who would have all this information about me. And she just kept wanting to dismiss me because I didn't have his name in the recording. So I got, and she headed me, recommended that I go to this particular man to talk to him. She gave me his name. I said, well, listen, I'm going to go listen to my recording and find my notes and see who it was. It's this man, the man she wants to give me to. And I call her back and I go, it's him. That's the man. And I knew his last name, so she knew I had it. She goes, oh, okay. Because when I asked for the manager of this whole operation, she would not give me the manager's name. So, there's only 10 or 15 of them. They're protecting each other. I'm sure they're all talking about it right now. They headed me to their legal team twice, but I'm not going to tip my hand to their legal department, because that's the defense. That's the enemy. If I do file a suit, I'm not going to let them know what I've got, other than I may be filing a suit, and I need to find out what violations these are. In fact, it will be Wisconsin's ethic. It's unethical for this man. And you know what? Then I've called and I got tape recordings of that as well, of them. I said, well, what comes up? You know my name. They go, we don't know your name. It comes up unavailable. Call Tonavrid Mountain, comes up unavailable. How did this man track me down? Because they're telling me out of their offices that my phone number comes up unavailable. Did he go into state to find who I was? What he did? I mean, how did he get my last name to pull my driver's license? That's what I want to know. So, they've got everything they need to dox all of us. All of us, every one of us. We voted. What a mistake that was. What a... Unbelievable. I don't think he's a State Department employee. He works for the state. So he pulled me up. Am I going to be listed as a DT? decode that, folks, what that might mean. The one that comes to your house and pulls you out of your home with no habeas corpus. Will he turn that over? Am I going to be considered that because I've questioned the elections? I'm, they wanted to know who I was. I'm guessing they ran my, I'm guessing they ran my whole license. How do I know they didn't? Right? How do I know that my name isn't given to activists to start a doxing program on me? I lost my Twitter account today. I didn't even use it yesterday. The only thing I did was delete Biden. They said it was suspicious of robots. So that's it. Now that one's gone too, permanently wiped out. That I've lost 2 accounts because they said I was a robot. You can't get back in because when they ask for your phone number and they just refuse to send you a text so you can open your. This has happened to me twice now. It's just as well, but that Twitter is still up there, and I was unable to uninstall my Twitter. I tried to uninstall my Twitter. My password appears like it was changed. I could not deactivate it, uninstall it. So, yeah, making quite a few phone calls out there too. I called my town of Rib Mountain and Senator Petulski of Wisconsin, letting them know what happened to me with this election commission. So that's going to be it. My first stream. Thank you.